Happy Saturday and welcome to day 18 of 20 Connect. We're winding down here. I've got just a couple more days, but I've really enjoyed spending this time with you. So today I want to talk about the comparison game. And I also want to talk about a really good tool that I was taught named after a gentleman who's passed away, and it was called Bernie's List. So first, the comparison game. And I love the quote that somebody came up with, which is, we compare our entire experience to somebody else's highlight reels. So when I'm playing this comparison game, I'm very much sitting in judgment of somebody else. I'm also sitting in judgment of myself. And what I do is I either artificially elevate myself above that other person and, try to make myself feel better, like I would have done that better, or I'm a better person, or, I have better things, however that goes. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But I artificially inflate my sense of self-worth so that I feel like I'm above somebody else. Or I denigrate myself so that I'm beneath somebody else's shoe. I'm a piece of garbage. I'm not good enough. Nothing I ever do will be as good as what that person does. And my truth is that neither one of those things is true. And neither one of those things gets me to where I want to be. My feeling is when I'm playing that comparison game, nobody wins. Nobody wins because I'm not, I'm comparing uneven things, and it artificially either inflates my ego or it artificially degrades myself, and that doesn't help me. That doesn't serve me. So I heard another way that it was expressed one time is if we all took our problems and threw them in a big pile, we would all walk back over and just collect our own troubles instead of take on those troubles that other people have. Because I know for myself that when I look at somebody else's life, I'm usually when I'm doing this comparison thing, I'm only looking at the things that I would like that they have. I'm not looking at the things that they have that I don't want. I'm not looking at the compromises that they've made that I wouldn't want to make. I'm not looking at the things and the hardships that they've had to go through that I wouldn't want to go through. I'm just looking at their life and kind of cherry picking those things that I want to covet. And the same is true, obviously, when I make myself feel worse. I'm looking at those wonderful attributes of that person. So I try and look at it this way. I'm a complete human being. I have wonderful moments and I have not so wonderful moments that are opportunities for me to learn and do better. And the same is true of absolutely everybody else. So if you saw me on my absolute best day, you might think that I'm just a saint, a freaking saint. But if you saw me in my worst moment, you would probably also think that I'm an insane basket case. So I try to give some grace and some understanding that just as I have a full range of experiences and sides to myself, everybody else does too. And so the comparison game doesn't work for me anymore. I alone have my own unique set of skills, my unique set of perspective, and a history that's gotten me to the place where I am right now. So I can't fail at how I do my own life. I can obviously make decisions that serve me, or I can make decisions that get me further away from where I want to be. But ultimately, I can't fail at my own life. It's my life. It's uniquely mine. It's uniquely my experience. So that is something that has kind of helped me because I've been very hard on myself. A lot of shoulding, well, you should do this or you should do that, or look at that person, look at how far that person's gotten, or whatever. And stop shitting on yourself is what I have to tell myself, so that I realize that I'm doing the absolute best that I can, and I'm doing a pretty good job with my life. I'm happy with the results. Now, the other tool that I was introduced to probably about 8 years ago, it's called Bernie's List. And Bernie was a gentleman who he kind of developed this tool. And in the beginning, it's very simple, absolutely, totally simple. And they say it takes 30 days to establish a habit. So I was told, do this for 30 days. whether you want to or not, and see how you feel at the end of 30 days. So I suggest you can take me up on it or not. But it's very simple. You wake up in the morning and you make a list of 5 things that you're grateful for. And at the end of the day, you make a list of 3 things that you forgive yourself for. And what this does for me is in the morning, I sit down and in the beginning when I was really, really struggling, the things that I was grateful for were very rudimentary. It would be, I'm grateful that I have food. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful for my animals. Those are big things. Those are big things, mind you. But what it does is what I focus on, I feed. So I start my day focusing on things that I'm grateful for. And then those experiences over time have kind of expanded. So I'm grateful today. I would say I'm grateful this morning that I got a call from my bro. And while I went on my walk with my dogs, I got to catch up with him. And I'm really grateful for those conversations. It's important for me to have a truly authentic conversation with somebody, not just like fluffy stuff or whatever, but just to have a true authentic conversation with somebody every day. That's important to me. And this morning, I am so grateful that I started my day off right with one of those conversations. I know that also when I forgive myself at the end of the day, it's for 3 things that I don't want to carry forward anymore. So the act of forgiving myself means I'm going to set this down. There's an old story about 2 monks who are walking through the countryside, and they come across an old woman, and she is unable to get across this puddle. And so one of the monks very unceremoniously pulls her up and piggybacks her across this puddle, and then sets her down on the other side, and they continue walking on. And about 2 miles down the road, the monk that did not give her a piggyback ride looks at the other monk and goes, well, that was incredibly inappropriate. You're not supposed to handle a woman that way or treat a woman that way. You're a monk. You shouldn't be doing stuff like that. And the other monk looked at him and said, well, I set that woman down 2 miles ago, but you've been carrying her this entire way. So for me, at the end of the day, I forgive myself in the places where I know that I can do better next time, but I did the best that I could in that moment. And what was very interesting to me when I first started doing this is that the things that I forgave myself for weren't even necessarily things that I needed to forgive myself for. I remember writing down for several weeks, I forgive myself for not being over my ex. And honest to goodness, it takes as long as it takes. There was absolutely no reason for me to feel like that was something I needed to forgive in myself. But the process itself, again, more shall be revealed. Just doing this process of Bernie's list, 5 things I'm grateful for in the morning, 3 things I forgive myself for at night, revealed a lot of truth to me. And I was able to start my day in gratitude. And as I was able to leave those lessons that I've learned and move on to my next day completely fresh. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Go out and connect with somebody.